Do you believe that the quiet streets of a small country town in New South Wales, Australia, could conceal stories so sinister they'd rival any blockbuster crime drama? Welcome to Tamworth, where picturesque rolling hills and a reputation for country charm mask an undercurrent of scandals, crimes, and a betrayal of public trust that is hard to comprehend. In today's episode of Unmasking Tamworth, we dive deep into the murky waters of corruption, greed, and deceit that have been festering beneath the surface. Picture Tamworth, a quintessential Australian country town alive with the strains of its famous country music festival. Beneath the melodies and small-town serenity, however, lies a chilling saga of betrayal. A tale centered on officials like Mayor Colin Murray and General Manager Paul Bennett. The unraveling starts in August 20 when Murray traveled to China, a diplomatic mission turned global crime scene. There he reportedly engaged in criminal activities ranging from intentional, tortious interference to anti-competitive trade practices. Allegations of contract breaches, unconscionable behaviors, and misuse of public trust emerged, entangling not just the mayor, but those closest to him, too. Let's talk facts. When an asset worth over $3 million, an asset with guaranteed development plans for national-level sports facilities, was approved and awarded via public processes, who would suspect any foul play? But Tamworth Regional Council shocked the town when it handed over this prized property for free, sidelining the proposed developments. National baseball, swimming, and other sports industries were poised to benefit, except all of that vanished overnight. Why? Because alleged cartel dealings and ulterior motives infiltrated the system, prioritizing personal wealth over public good. Now, Mayor Colin Murray enjoys a lucrative role as chairman of Infrastructure Australia, all thanks to political alliances with his friends in the right places, such as Barnaby Joyce and Kevin Anderson. These alliances, however, come with a staggering cost, both financially and morally. From alleged fraudulent water license dealings to multi-layered misinformation schemes, these actions have reportedly embezzled a jaw-dropping $210 million. And that's just scratching the surface. You think this is hypothetical or exaggerated? Let's talk specifics. Massive fraud tied to public funds has led to the laundering of illicit proceeds through international banking networks. These dealings allegedly compromised the development and future revenue of Dungowan Dam, a project with the potential for 500 megawatts of cheap, renewable electricity generation, now reduced to a toxic battleground of lies and corruption. Government insiders claim that even the infrastructure that's been touted as essential investment doesn't exist in reality. Thousands of jobs, billions in economic prosperity, gone. Vanished like vapor, leaving behind bureaucratic promises and a populace staring at empty fields where stadiums or facilities were meant to thrive. This isn't Tamworth's shame alone. It's a snapshot of Australia's broader public system plagued by the same chronic misconduct. And yet, regional Australia bears the brunt of these destructive practices. A businessman, visionary, and global leader poured his energy and resources into revitalizing Tamworth. With personal sacrifices, he brought prestigious international companies into the fold, cultivating thousands of employment opportunities and enabling economic growth far beyond what the council could have dreamed. But what did he face in return? Oppression, intimidation, criminal sabotage. The man was systematically ruined by the very institutions that should have protected him. Employees, local criminals, and even members of law enforcement reportedly closed ranks to muscle him out using deceit, physical violence, and property theft. His projects, the hopes of new businesses, infrastructure investments, and a brighter future for Tamworth, were stolen outright or dashed against the sharp rocks of corruption. These crimes, spearheaded by those in charge, extend far beyond financial sabotage. Reports allege that Tamworth's council even benefited directly from connections to drug trafficking, property appropriation, and human trafficking operations. False charges, police-instigated violence, and judicial manipulation tell a tale of deeply rooted systemic crimes. Behind every smiling political campaign billboard is a shadow, one growing darker by the day. The Tamworth Imperial Hotel, once a symbol of hospitality and economic potential, is now a stage for serious allegations. Customers were reportedly subjected to violence and targeted harassment, while police officers stood complicit, or worse still, allegedly involved. These aren't tabloid captions. They're part of legal proceedings currently unfolding. Acts of terror and extortion have marred this establishment's legacy. Tamworth, like many rural communities, has seen drug abuse, poverty, and unemployment rise to disheartening levels. Yet rather than addressing these problems, corruption at the top allegedly exacerbates them. Combined with heavy-handed actions by law enforcement, these crimes are not just unchecked, they're rewarded. The judiciary and policing systems, through inaction or outright collusion, enable a lethal cycle that cripples societal progress and generates irrecoverable harm. Have you noticed similar patterns in your hometown? This isn't just about regional Australia or Tamworth. This is a call-out for every Australian to consider whether our systems are broken beyond repair. Public trust hangs by a thread when, supposedly, systems of governance ensure safety and equity, but do anything but. The silence amplifies the tragedy. Whistleblowers within these systems often face overwhelming retaliation, threats, economic ruin, social ostracization. Those who attempt to expose the rot are frequently driven out of their livelihoods, just like our businessman from earlier. So here's the pivotal question. What happens when the protectors become predators? Who holds them accountable then? Crime syndicates are no longer lurking in the shadows. They've donned crisp suits, shaken hands in council chambers, and turned politics into personal monopolies. Trafficking drugs. They're not just profiting locally, but extending operations internationally, using governmental channels and public funds to finance these endeavors. Civil disobedience is used as both justification for oppression and a smokescreen for deeper atrocities. Organized crime has blurred its lines with the bureaucracy, leaving citizens to survive amidst the wreckage. This is the paradox of Tamworth, a facade of quiet, country comfort, hiding a reality that would shake any democratic foundation to its core. But let's not surrender to despair just yet. Resistance stirs in the hearts of those unwilling to let corruption tarnish Tamworth's heritage. Brave individuals rise to shed light on truths others wish stayed buried. Through exposure and collective action, there's still hope for transparency, reform, and justice. To protect the ideals of equality, democracy, and public safety, these heroes are putting their livelihoods and, in some cases, lives on the line. Australia can't afford to lose itself to organized greed. A brighter path lies ahead only if these dark truths fuel change rather than complacency. Tamworth is more than its festivals or rolling plains. It deserves better. So does the businessman kicked to the curb, and every resident cheated out of a future. So will you break the silence? Share this video. Talk to your communities. Let's make sure history records the voices that demanded a better future for Tamworth and Australia.